Blessed good morning and welcome to our devotions for today, Friday, the end of our week. And I trust that you would have had a glorious week and that you would have benefited somewhat from our theme for this week, I want to know Christ. As we go into this weekend, we do so mindful of all that is occurring in our world and trying our best to be mindful of what it means to know Christ and how knowing Christ impacts our lives, the way we perceive others, the way we perceive ourselves, the way we journey. So there is a great deal to knowing Christ. It's not just something that benefits us, it is of benefit to our world. So I trust that as you recall the devotions for this week, that you may recognize that it is not only for our individual selves, but is really for the world. So coming into our place of stillness and peace, entering into our heart space, being very conscious of this call to be still, this call to grow out of the stillness, to grow out of the rest, to grow out of that true self, becoming the Christ for the world. Wanting to know, not know about, but wanting to know. Acknowledging the presence day by day in our lives. Trusting and knowing that this journey of ours is a journey of wholeness and life. As Jesus went on from there, 2 blind men followed him, crying loudly, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." When he entered the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." And their eyes were opened. Then Jesus sternly ordered them, "See that no one knows of this." But they went away and spread the news about him throughout the district.
Cheer the heart like Jesus, by his presence all divine, true and tender, pure and precious. Oh, how blessed just to call him mine. Oh, that thrills my soul is Jesus. He is more than life to me, and the fairest of 10,000 in my blessed Lord I see. Love of Christ so free.
I really trust that you have been able to benefit from the theme for this past week. I think it is a really important theme. It's one that speaks to the ultimate purpose of our existence. For us to know Christ is to be Christ. To know my true self is to be that Christ, to be that experience of the divine. Now, I didn't say it to be Jesus. Jesus was a historic person. Christ is a way of being in the world. It's a level of attainment. It's a level of awareness. And it is a term that is used in other faith traditions as well, to denote someone who has attained a certain level of awareness and divine consciousness. To know Christ, not to know about, but to be immersed in the full experience. This was the prayer of Jesus, that his disciples would come to that space as well. It requires us to work, but the work is more about being consistent than it is about laboring. The consistency that is needed is the attitude to not give up, to be intentional, and to stay committed to that purpose. Put it in place in our lives, that which will assist us in coming into that space, knowing self and realizing self in others. Listen to the passage this morning where the two blind men are asking Jesus to heal them. Jesus asked them, "Do you think I can do this?" And they said, "Yes. We know you can do this." And Jesus says, "By your faith, receive your sight, healed." So it is their faith that brings this about. That Jesus, as the Christed one present, becomes the way through which their faith manifests in their healing. And this is our task, each one of us, to assist others in demonstrating faith by coming into that knowing of our Christ itself. And as we do this, others can experience the healing love and power of God in their lives. And then they too come to know the Christ itself in them. Jesus tells these guys, don't say anything about what just happened. But they went out and proclaimed it. How could they do anything else? They were filled with something new. They were ecstatic. They had experienced tremendous healing. And it was through their faith. So they become, in this context, bearers of the good news. The same good news that Jesus bore. And we too are called upon to bear this good news in our world. So knowing Christ, I suggested that, like engaging in any other deepening of a relationship, deepening of a connection, that it is necessary to devote time and space. It is necessary to talk. It is abundantly necessary to listen. And it is even more precious to accept what is, and to allow oneself to be submerged in the fullness of that presence. The Creator, the Source, God, desires that all come to know the Christ. It's not a secret. It's not hidden. It's right there in plain sight. But like the blind man, we are not able to see. And it is only true faith, that we are enabled to see. And when we see, we are changed. And we become bearers of the Christ. This has been a week of reflection on the desire to know Christ. I want to encourage you to allow this desire to know Christ, to not let it end with today's devotion, but to see what Spirit says to you over the next few days and weeks. To see what Spirit guides you to do based on all that you have heard. And allow this desire to know Christ to grow and expand and fill your entire life with this desire and this becoming. I want to know Christ. I want to know Christ. I want to know Christ.
Given grace of God beyond degree, mercy higher than the heaven, deeper than the deepest sea. Oh, that thrills my soul is Jesus. He is more than life to me, and the fairest of 10,000.